russet potatoes that have been washed with the skin on, and we're just gonna dive right in. Now, with the mandolin, you have to be super careful. You don't want to hurt yourself. So if you're not familiar with how to use a mandolin, you definitely want to take your time, be careful, and not hurt yourself. So I have my mandolin set to kind of like the thinnest setting. These little knobs on the side basically show you how thin or how thick you can cut something with a mandolin. So I'm gonna go to about the thinnest setting that I can, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get started by slicing it this way. Now, as you can see, it's coming out pretty thin, like nothing too crazy. This is kind of what we're working with here. So this is how the potatoes are gonna cook up really nicely. It kind of looks like a little potato chip. That's kind of the vibe you're looking for in regards to your potato stacks. Now, we're gonna keep going, and when we get to the end of the potato, you're gonna see me really, really slow down, because that's not something I wanna play with. So we wanna take our time, keep going until we get to the end. And then you can either use like a, oh, not my mandolin breaking off. I don't know where that just came from, but you can either use like another little utensil that comes with the mandolin that helps you to like really grip the potato at the end, or you could just throw, I like to call it the butt of the potato away. So whatever you're gonna do, you can do, but for me, I'm just gonna go until I can't anymore, until it feels unsafe, and then I'll stop. But for now, we're okay, we're rocking, we're rolling. So as you can see, I'm only working with 2 potatoes. Look how much I've already gotten out of the potatoes. Like, how cool. So you don't need, like, I mean, of course, if you're cooking for a ton of people, you can use 3 pounds of potatoes, but you're gonna be working. You might as well put a sous chef to work in the kitchen for you if you're gonna be doing all of that. For me, this is perfectly fine. So see, when you get to the end, it's kind of like sticky. That's how I know I need to stop. Let me show you what you can also do if you're comfortable with your knife, is to simply just like do super thin cuts with your knife, right? Just for no waste. We're going to put our potatoes in a bowl, and then we're gonna work on our butter sauce. So the potatoes are going into a bowl. So we're just gonna give our parsley a nice rough chop here. I like to work with flat leaf parsley, but you can work with any type of parsley you want. You could do curly parsley, that works fine as well. So we have our butter on a super low heat. It's melting while we finish our prep here. This is about 1/3 of a cup of parsley. Now the shallot, you could also use the mandolin for. This one's a little baby shallot though, so no need to distress myself with the mandolin. We'll just go ahead and slice that up ourselves by hand. So we've got nice thin slices here of shallot. All right, and then now we're going to do a little bit of rosemary. You can also do fresh thyme if you have that instead. All of these flavors really come together to enhance the flavors of the potato in the butter sauce. We're also gonna put a sprig of rosemary in each of the little muffin tin containers, so stay tuned for that. All right, so we're gonna let this butter just melt on down. And what we're gonna do is add in, I'm gonna put some water on the potatoes so they don't oxidize too much. So now we're gonna go ahead and add in our parsley. We're gonna add in our shallots. And we're gonna add in our rosemary and also some garlic. We're gonna season all of this up with lots of salt and pepper. A handy dandy little scraper here. I'm gonna do a nice pinch of salt here. We're also gonna do some black pepper. You could also do white pepper, whatever you prefer. You could do a pinch of cayenne if you wanted a little spicy. But this just stays in the butter until it's nice and fragrant. Smells delish. We're gonna turn that off. What, this? Oh, my garlic. Look, guys, I already forgot my garlic. Let's add our garlic. I like to do the garlic paste. It has a more robust flavor. And you're not eating like chunks of garlic. Everything stays smooth. Just a little stack of Parmesan cheese because I'm going to kind of like sprinkle this in the middle of each of my little potato stacks. I'm just gonna do about a half a cup. I think I'm almost there. That looks good. Gonna move that to the side of my board. Just gonna dry them off. Dry my bowl out. So you don't want any water in this dish, but you also don't want your potatoes to brown up on you. So I'm gonna dry the potatoes really good. These look really good. And then we're gonna make some stacks. But before we do that, we're going to prep our pan, and we're gonna put the potatoes back in this bowl so we can mix it in with the butter sauce that we just made. I'm also going to hit the potatoes with a little bit of salt and pepper, a little garlic on their own right here. So we're going in with a little olive oil. Nothing too exciting. A little olive oil, a little salt. So our garlic, parsley, herby, shalloty sauce is in. We're just gonna give it a nice stir. Now, we're gonna put Parmesan in every layer, but because it's here, let's just go ahead and mix in a little Parmesan. Just because, you know, it's there, it's there. All right, next step is to grab our muffin tin here. Next thing is just to add a few sprigs of rosemary at the bottom here. It's gonna be really cute when you flip it around and you see just a little rosemary sprig. So I have my potatoes here. Now this is just up to you, right? You just wanna build it so that it basically looks like a cute little stack. There's no real rhyme or reason here. Biggest on the bottom, perhaps, right? Biggest stack on the bottom, or biggest slice on the bottom until it resembles something like this. We're just gonna pop it right in. Now this one I think I overstuffed, so I'm just gonna take out a few. They do kind of like they cook, so they'll shrink up a little bit in the oven. Oh, see, that's how I knew I was gonna forget. Parmesan halfway through. A little Parmesan in the middle of each stack. I'm just using like the little leftover pieces to finish out a few of these stacks. These mandolin cuts are like paper thin, so it's okay to like keep layering them on. Now this is gonna get covered and they're gonna bake up in the oven until nice and tender and crispy. We're gonna bake them at 375 for about 30 minutes. We're gonna take off the foil after about 30 minutes, and then we're going to increase the heat to about 425 and really let them jazz up in the oven. They're gonna get nice and crispy, golden. But first we wanna kind of steam them so that they are fully cooked. Okay, our potato stacks, what do we think? So you can use like a toothpick or anything like that. So this is a must-have to check for to finish these little stacks off. Yeah, those are tender. And then we're gonna bake at a higher temperature. So these are settling. I'm just going to, wow. All right, y'all, our stacked potatoes are all done. They are so beautiful and absolutely worth the effort. We're gonna dive into a quick little taste test, so let's see. I have my little bite right over here. Tender, crispy layers of golden potatoes drenched in garlic butter sauce. Thank you, I'm done. Yes, I'll take the whole plate. You gotta give this a try. If you like this video, be sure to click this one and this one for more.